Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Eric Coffin from HRA Advisories, hard rock analyst. I'm here today with Brandon Macdonald. Brandon's the CEO of Fireweeds Zinc. It's a company I've followed since, well, before they were listed. It's trading on the Venture under symbol FWZ. Fireweed has control of a very large, very high grade, 50 million tons to be exact, zinc resource. We're all waiting with bated breath for an imminent, I hope, economic study on this project. In the meantime, what we wanted to talk about today was you put up metallurgical news this morning. I realize metallurgy puts most people to sleep, but it's pretty critical when it comes to base metal operations. It's really one of the most important aspects. And I did find it interesting that you put out one of the most detailed news releases I've seen in quite a while. You covered all of the bases, recoveries, grind sizes, penalty elements, and you weren't hiding anything. There really wasn't any bad news in it, but you laid everything out there. Is there a reason for that? I mean, a lot of guys don't go into that much detail.
Yeah, I guess when talking about a metallurgical news release, you want to know, first, are you producing a saleable concentrate?
Yeah.
That matters, because if you don't have a saleable concentrate, there is
matters.
no product.
Yeah.
And then the saleable concentrate you have, are you actually producing, are you recovering enough of your metal to make the mine economically viable? So what's particularly appealing about this, what we've seen in our latest round of metallurgy, is that over the last metallurgy was done in 2012, substantial improvement in our zinc concentrate recoveries, maintained a really nice healthy concentrate grade, low iron levels, and minimal penalty elements, a little bit of mercury and possibly silica, depending on how we tweak the sort of grind size versus, and recovery versus concentrate grade sort of continuum. So this should not just be a marketable concentrate, but I would think actually like a desirable concentrate. So that's, with that in mind, there's no point hiding anything. There's no point trying to obscure a penalty element, hoping to pull the wool over the market's eyes. When I'm in Asia or Europe or whatever, and I'm talking to potential strategic interests, whether they're trading houses or they're smelters, the first thing they want to know, they've already seen your headline concentrate grades in terms of zinc or lead and contain silver, right. But they immediately know, okay, what in this is going to give us problems? Yeah. So for us, just putting that in our news release and letting not just the retail market, but the strategic interests see that without having to bother to sign a CA, right. Is actually an extremely powerful marketing tool for us.
Well, and one thing I did notice in the release, to go to headline, some of the headline stuff, your zinc recoveries came up like 8 or 9%. And keep in mind, those of you watching this, when you're talking about something where 1% of zinc current prices represents, round numbers, 25 or 30 bucks, bringing your recovery up that much means you're probably delivering another percent of zinc into your concentrate into the market as a sales product. I mean, that's a really big positive change. I mean, that's why metallurgy is important, even though it bores most people to death. It's pretty critical.
Yeah, and projects without metallurgy have like a major question unanswered, right? And I think it's fantastic for us we dove deeper than required for our PEA. It wasn't enough for us to get a first pass open cycle test or anything like that. We want full lock cycle. We did multiple lock cycle tests. We got a sense for how it changes as you change various inputs, and how it changes as you go from one zone to another. So we understand the next step forward in terms of pursuing a full geometallurgical block model, so you understand exactly how internally within a deposit it changes.
One thing that was actually a pleasant surprise for me, because I was expecting something finer. The type of deposit that you have, a SEDEX deposit, they generally miners that are extracting ore from those type of deposits. It's just a given that you do a really fine grind size because the crystal size is small in these things. I found your grind size that you used and got good results from was actually better than I expected. I mean, was that a pleasant surprise for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a fine regrind size. So there's kind of no escaping that in a SEDEX system. But compared to some of the big boys, like when Century initially started and almost to the end there, sub 10 micron regrind size, and our base case for the PEA on this metallurgical test is about a 25 micron regrind. right? So that's a substantially different. That's almost on the cusp of being able to do, or it is actually right on the cusp of being able to do conventional regrind instead of stirred mills.
That would be big too.
I mean, you know, stirred mills are interesting. This is a kind of an invention that came around originally, the isomill pioneering it for SEDEX systems, right?
Right,
So it
from
kind of
Isa,
changes the
yeah.
game in terms of, if you haven't looked at SEDEX systems since the 80s, you've kind of missed the technological change that really improved the metallurgy on these.
I think today's release is another example of Fireweed over-delivering, something they've done since really before they were even listed. That's the reason why I've been following the stock and continue to, and why, frankly, I'm expecting any surprises in the upcoming economic study to be pleasant, not unpleasant ones.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you very much.